So I just wanted to make a little video here with some people here, my audience. Whoever sees this, I truly believe 100% that God put this in front of you. I trust God's process. There's been many videos that's been put in front of me over the years. I'm like, and then the more I listen, I'm like, okay, that was straight from God. Whether it was one golden nugget or many, or something I've been praying on, and it was answers. So trust me, hang in here for a minute. I ain't gonna go on too long, but just real with you, like just trying to let you know that most likely this was put in front of you for your good. Trust the process. Trust the Lord on everything. So anyways, so I just wanted to share a little something that happened to me in beginning stages of my life with walking with God, or coming back to him, or him calling on me, whatever you want to call it. Because I grew up going to church, and I went back into the world, I would say, for about 20 years. Then at the age of 33, God called my number. Bottom line, straight up. Anyways, and with that being said, I got in a relationship when I got back with God. I thought it was from God. I prayed, didn't know how God worked really, but I just prayed, and this next cute girl came along, or someone showed me attention after coming out of an old relationship, 6 years. I fell into this trap. She said she believed. Anyways, I ain't getting into that. But she wasn't the one, obviously. Well, during that phase, I had not opened the Bible when God called on me for a while. I believe a lot of us do that. We go to church or this and that, and we just don't take the time to get into God's word. It's okay. It happens. I feel like it's part of the process. Not all of us are raised up in a church our whole life and just have it all laid out for you or whatever. And I ain't knocking that. I'm just saying my walk is, I prayed to God. Every time I went to open the Bible, I'm lost. Especially I would open up the King James, the old King James. And I'm like, thou shalt this, thou shalt that. And for me, I'm going to be straight up. I'm great at math, pretty good in science and history, but English, you'll probably pick apart my words if you subscribe. There's things I don't get all right, but you get the gist. I'm not a complete fool in English, but that's not my best, and I ain't scared. If I was on be in my head, I wouldn't be sitting here making videos worrying about every word that I don't word right, this and that. It is what it is. That's not the point here. All I'm getting at is, trying to read the Bible was very difficult. So, he led me to one of my first was the New American Standard Bible. Was one of the first ones. I love it. It's still a great Bible. And then my favorite, though, is NLT, New Living Translation. So, of course, there's ESV, there's King James, New King James, there's tons. And just because I'm talking about that, if I was you, I would do my own studies on understanding why there's different translations. What's the difference? I would even use different Bibles because in front of you to check up as you're studying and reading, because they all kind of hit you a little different. Some you're like, huh? You open up another one, you're like, okay, I get that. That makes sense. Dang, that's deep. So I'm just throwing that out there. But so as I was praying to God, I'm like, Lord, this Bible is just too deep to understand. Where do I start? This and that. I'd start reading Genesis and be falling asleep halfway through, or so lost, not even understanding, comprehending. Well, and I'm going to get to my point now. Well, I prayed and God helped me out. Well, one day, it was a Thanksgiving I'm going to say about 6 years ago. So about 2 years into walking with God, roughly. I prayed, and I come home on a Thanksgiving. Me and my ex, she was in her little mood, whatever. It was just me and her. The kids stayed at her parents'. Well, we're on our way home. We get home, and there's this book. It's not this one. I bought many of these. I'm going to get to the point of that. But there was this book. It's called This Beautiful Book. At our porch, there was a letter inside. Let me grab that so I can read that to you. Sorry about that. But I've always kept this book here, or this note. I pray to goodness it's in here. Come on. Sorry, y'all. It's one of these books. I think. Come on, Lord. Oh. I'm sorry. You all wasting your time here. One day I'll bring it out here. I left the yellow sticky note right here in the front. It must be I ordered a bunch of these books for people if they ever wanted one. One of my good buddies, Garfield, he was just talking the other day. He didn't know where to start, and the Bible is deep, this and that. And of course, I shared my little story with my boy that, this book right here, this beautiful book, it's the president of Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure Billy Graham endorsed it. Yeah, at the top, see, I got a soft copy and a hard copy. So anyways, Billy Graham endorsed it too. But the note that was in it, the woman was named Ursa, U-R-S-A. And it said, I hope this book helps you along your journey. God bless you. Something along them lines. So that day, me and my ex was arguing or not getting along, whatever. She was in her little playing the silent treatment as she would for a week straight, whatever. Anyways, that day we got home, instead of me and her just bickering all night, me trying to get her to chill out or sort this out because your brain at that time would just race and trying to fix a problem or get the problem fixed and move on with life. Well, and I was being toyed by a narcissist, but that's besides the point. So I sat there, the first book I read in probably 15 years. I read a lot of like world news and different things, articles, but not like a book. Well, since then, I've probably read, I'm going to say 200, 300 books in the last years, plus the Bible I've read so many times. But anyways, my point is, that day, I sat there on the couch while my ex would sit back there in her bed, pouting, whatever. I got to stop. Anyways, so I sat there and read about 80 pages of that book. I was locked in. And it's about, how many pages? So almost, 222 roughly, whatever, 200 some. I read almost half of that book because I was so locked in. And that was the start of my journey with God on reading the Bible. Trying to make sense of it. So that book I highly recommend because it sums up the whole Bible, breaks it down and kind of compacts it so you can know what the beginning and to the end. And that way, when you start reading it, you can comprehend more on what it's all about and how it's laid out and all that. It's a perfect book to read. So I highly recommend anybody to read this book if you haven't read the Bible or you're struggling. So, and my second thing there is there's a little thing called Wonder Bible. This little thing here, I'm not even sure if it cuts on anymore. I know it cuts on, but I have not used this thing. Shows I don't even know how to cut it on right now. But it's called Wonder Bible. Oh yeah, it takes a charge, but I'll have to charge it. Anyways, this thing, if you don't feel like reading the Bible, I know that on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and say on YouTube and stuff, I didn't know this at the time when I bought this. But on YouTube, you can go to like the book of John, Matthew, any of them, and it'll read it to you. But if you want to carry this around, you can get right to the chapter. If you look on the back, it's got all the stuff. I know it's reading backwards here. But this thing's cool. I bet you can still find them. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby years ago. But I'd get into that too. Just if you don't feel like reading, then get on YouTube and sit there and put in a book. Start off with Genesis and let it read and go to the next one. YouTube is amazing. So I hope that helps somebody. I'm going to leave this at 10 minutes. I could go on and on, but God bless you all. I hope this helps somebody. But get in that book, the beautiful book. I guarantee you won't regret it. God bless. Take care.